Welcome to Tima's Soul Kitchen, also known as Tima Danette. And if you are new here, we do videos where we cook. I'm Fatima. This is
Nicole.
And if you are not familiar with this cooking channel, we do not do exact measurements here. We cook from the soul. The ancestors lead me. And guess what? I'm here with Nicole because I'm visiting one of my best friends. And she cooks really, really good. And I actually sent her this recipe while I was home. And I was like, Nicole, I really want to try this. So I'm making her cook it. And we're
going to make a lobster Alfredo, but I do use measuring cups. And yeah, I do everything exact. So it's going to be a little bit different. But we're going to get through it.
And even before we were shooting this video, I'm like, Nicole, we don't need a measuring cup. She was looking. But tell us how did you grow up? Like, where did you learn to cook? Like, what's your thing?
I love to cook. I grew up, my mom always cooked, and so she always brought us in the kitchen. Like, we always had to. There was no sitting down. If she was cooking, you was cooking with her. And so she brought me along. And then through the years, I've just really developed my palate and trying new things. And so I like experimenting with recipes, really challenging ones that are man, I gotta really think about how you're gonna cook or what tool you're gonna use and things like that, where you have to really develop the flavor. And so it's for me, it's fun. It's fun to do.
And by the way, speaking of Mama Gail, we stole Mama Gail's kitchen.
Oh yes,
we're in her kitchen right now.
We are in my mom's kitchen, and yes, we are using her resources right now.
Okay guys, so I am going to be by the camera. I'm letting Nicole lead, but I'm gonna be, of course, adding my commentary because I forgot my tripod. But we're gonna make this work. We are doing lobster Alfredo, which is my favorite. You like Alfredo too.
I like Alfredo. I'm not a lobster fan, so it'd be different for me.
You're not?
I don't like lobster.
I'm learning something. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to start by doing what?
I'm gonna start by sauteing the lobster just a little bit. I'm not gonna cook it all the way through. It's gonna be partially cooked, and then we'll use the fat remnants in the pan to saute the vegetables, the onion, celery, and bell pepper.
Okay guys, let's go. Okay, so we're here. We're about to do the lobster. So you're just sauteing, you're sauteing it, right?
Yeah, I'm just sauteing it right now. We're gonna put our butter. That's about a tablespoon or two right there.
You're really measuring.
A little bit. This is about that's about another tablespoon and a half. And then we're gonna just let this do its thing. We're gonna let it get sexy. It's gonna get to know each other and all that good stuff.
So that's all the butter you need to add. See, if it was me, I would have added a half a stick.
No. See?
Don't make me shake the camera.
We're trying to be good but healthy at the same time.
You healthy now?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm in between.
Okay.
I'm working on it. Yeah. So we're gonna let this, and I don't usually start dropping my stuff down until my butter gets a little bit brown. That's how I know that it's sexy. It's ready. It's ready for the food, because you want this to saute.
Okay. Oh, what's on that piece of paper you got?
That's my recipe. That's my guide. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a map. You might not necessarily need the map all the time, but you just need to go back to the map to make sure you're on the right.
Can we see the guide real quick?
You don't need to see the guide.
She got it folded back there.
All right, we're gonna put this lobster in here.
Yes, let's get a close up. That looks so good.
Oh man.
Ooh.
And then we're gonna turn this down. Mama got a good stove, okay? And then we're gonna season this with this little herbs de Provence.
We need a close up.
Okay.
Okay, let's focus. Yes.
And I'm just gonna. This is really good. I use this a lot instead of Italian seasoning. So if you want to spice up and not so boring and just use Italian seasoning all the time, you can use this. I put it on chicken sometimes and fried it up. If I'm making any type of pasta, like spaghetti, I use that. So we're not gonna add any salt right now. I know you're like, what? But the butter actually has
You know
some
I love
salt.
salty.
And so the butter is gonna give it that salt. But this is gonna cook some more inside the pasta when we put a lot of the other seasonings. So right now we're just doing a light saute on this. And remember, we're not cooking this all. I'm not cooking this.
That's what your recipe said?
Right, it did.
Ooh, that looks so good.
We get this recipe from Darius Cooks. I want to shout him out. So this is his
Yes,
recipe.
we love him in this
This is not
household.
mine, so we're gonna take this out right now because it looks like it's almost about done. And it actually smells pretty good.
It does smell yummy.
Get all that butter. Now that butter right there, that's that good stuff right there with all that seasoning in there. We're gonna just drop this. This is bell pepper, this is onions, and this is celery. It smells like Thanksgiving.
This looks good.
Let me look at my roadmap, okay?
Look at her looking, y'all.
Look at my roadmap.
Girl.
Yes. This is about a half cup. I didn't measure it, but I looked at it.
What? You feel a little sold. The ancestors told you, huh?
It's about a cup, actually. It's more than a half cup. It might be a cup and a half, but it look about right. And we're going to do this until those get translucent. Is that the word?
Oh, okay.
That's the word,
I never
right?
used that word to cook.
You-
Okay, you got all the jargon.
We're going to do this until these vegetables look like you can see through them. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I've never used that word while cooking. I would have probably just did it until it got soft.
That's the same thing.
Oh,
You
okay.
you cook it until it gets soft, but also you want to be able to see through those onions. That's how you know that those are good and ready, okay?
Okay.
If you can't see through them, they ain't ready, boo-boo.
Look, we're learning something new in this kitchen.
I try to do what I can do when I can do it.
You're really out here doing this.
I'm out here. All right. Let me get my next piece of something ready, okay?
What is your recipe saying, girl?
It says I need my garlic. And then I'm going to need my wine pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
Now for the wine, I use what I have on hand. You know, if you got some, whatever, if you got a Riesling, if you got a dry, if you got a semi-sweet, if you got a champagne, it don't matter.
So you just be, so you got a little soul in you?
I got what I wanted to drink, and that's what we're going to use today.
Okay.
So I got that garlic in there now, and we're going to let that go. And I'm going to just stir that. I'm going to let it just do its thing without bothering it for a second before I go get my wine. I'm going to add about a cup of wine. I am going to measure that.
So, Nicole, what wine you got?
Okay, I got a Stella.
We've been drinking Stella since I've been here.
She gave me a peach one that was, I've never had this brand, but she gave me a peach one that was really good, and a different one. What was the other one?
The watermelon one?
All I know, it was good, and it was
Oh no, it was the Stella Rosa peach.
Ooh, let me tell y'all, okay? That right there, it was so good. And it tastes like juice, and it was gone just like juice.
We've been adding fruit and everything.
Okay.
I've been slight lit since I've been here. So
You know,
you just...
I'm at my mama's house, so I definitely was not slight lit, but it was good.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mama Gail, I was slight lit.
Okay, this is my wine. So I'm gonna dump this wine in here, and really,
You really measured your cup, huh?
I did. Okay, and then
Nicole be so cute.
what else I got? Yep. So I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna let this just marinate in.
Now, since you're using that, you said it doesn't really matter. So is that gonna, because that's the like Moscato d'Asti, is it gonna make it like really sweet, or what does the wine do?
It cooks it. It's gonna cook it out. I mean, it's gonna give you. You're gonna be left with that. If you ever had something that was cooked in wine, you'd be left with that taste, but you won't be left with that sweetness. It's not gonna taste like the wine at all.
Okay.
It'll just kind of give you that, that wine taste. Next, I'm gonna add about a cup of half and half. Heavy cream, heavy whipping cream.
Yes.
We'll do that. I really want to, when I put this wine in there, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get all those, that residue. I'm trying to clean that pot per se at the bottom and get everything like just in there together.
Like the seasoning.
Just like, all the seasoning. Get all those drippings that were stuck to the pot, get that all off and get that in, because that's where all that good old flavor is. Because now what we're going to do is we're getting ready to build up our sauce. So we're going to layer that so that it's well seasoned.
Now, do you like your sauce thick? I kind of like mine a little thick. Or do you like yours like runny?
I like mine at an in-between, like a good consistency. I'm gonna use a half a cup.
Nicole really be measuring, y'all.
This is a loose half a cup, okay? It's more of a 3/4.
She be trying not to. Oh God.
Alright, so from here, this is where we're about to build up our seasoning. But first I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna taste her along the way because that tells me where we are. It tells me if we need to readjust. Please taste your food as you are cooking, because if you don't,
Let's get a close up while she's gone. This looks
tell me-
good. It smells good, Nicole. I can
does.
smell the wine.
this would tell me where I'm at. So I'm gonna go ahead and
What's it tasting like?
it's good. It is good. Okay, so we're gonna do a half teaspoon of this, and I'm gonna be exact. Okay.
Look, she got the.
Yeah.
What's that, Nicole?
It's tarragon leaves and just a little bit.
Now I've never heard of this seasoning.
I use this sometimes when I make like a shrimp salad, and I use that, but I use the fresh ones, and I put that on there, and it's so good. It gives it a really good taste. We're gonna turn this down a little bit. Now I'm going to put in there. Where is it at? Oh, right here. We're gonna do about a tablespoon.
What's that?
This is that good stuff. That's about a tablespoon. Okay, sometimes they come in little cubes that you can dissolve, like you're making a good chicken stock or whatever. Sometimes when I make string beans, it's my little secret. I'll put that in there.
Okay.
And next we need a tablespoon. This is the first seasoning that we used. Okay, so we'll just do that. And it's about a tablespoon. And then we're gonna do some garlic. And
This is my favorite. I love garlic and
you really
onion
can't have
powder.
enough, so I probably, that's
Look
about,
at Nicole freestyling.
that's about a little something right there. I don't know what that was. It's maybe two and a half tablespoons.
Onion powder, my favorite as well.
And you gotta just
Yes, get in
Come
there.
back in here and readjust.
That's the most I've seen Nicole freestyle.
Ooh, where's my pepper at? Let's see if Mom got some pepper.
Adding some pepper in there. Ooh, yes,
Pepper.
don't be stingy.
Yes, now we're gonna give this a good old stir.
Ooh, this smells so good, y'all. For real.
Okay. Again, we gotta do our taste. And it's gonna get thicker when I add that Parmesan. So if you're looking at it like, ooh, that's watery, when I add that Parmesan, it'll get thicker.
It's tasting good.
It's tasting good. I actually don't need no salt. Okay. So now I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit more. Mom got that official stove right there.
Yeah, it's bubbling.
So we're gonna add that. This is grated Parmesan. We're gonna throw that in there.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna keep adding until I feel like I want to stop. And then all right.
Okay, so we got it thick, Nicole.
Okay.
This looks so good. I'm zooming in.
I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna actually put all that juice back in there too. That's nothing but butter and greatness.
That's not gonna thin it out.
And if it thins out, I just put more Parmesan because that's the only thing we're using as a thickener.
Yee, look at this, you guys.
And then we're gonna add the noodles in there. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit.
This is so easy to do.
It is very easy to do.
And you guys, I did taste it. The wine did make it a little sweet, but it's so good. It got flavor. So we're adding the noodles, you
Yeah, we're gonna
guys.
add the noodles. Now these noodles have been sitting for a little bit of time, but I just
we
did
made it
them
early.
in water, olive oil, lots of salt just to add, because otherwise your noodles won't have a flavor. So I usually either add salt, and sometimes I might add other things, but definitely just salt. And let those, because I think I want mine a little bit more thicker, I'm going to add a little bit more of the Parmesan. But we're just really getting that in. And then we go to part 2. That's the good part. Alright. So I'm gonna add a little bit more Parmesan. I want to add a little bit. Parmesan also gives it its salt. If you notice, we didn't add any salt to this recipe. And I know you're thinking, what? But I promise you, with
I'm the salt queen.
With all the flavors that we added, especially with the chicken barbecue, or just the seasoning, that has so much salt in it that you really don't need any. And then I use salted butter. And then the Parmesan just gives it a really great salt. So I promise you, please, if you make this recipe, do not add salt.
Yeah, it tastes really good.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna sit this here. I'm gonna add a little bit of parsley in there. Just a little bit, because my kids, they're gonna eat this and they do not. They're gonna see the parsley and be like, I don't want to eat that. So just a little bit. And really, that's just for, you know, aesthetics, but it gives it a little something, something. All right, so now we're gonna get our lobster together.
Okay, so we have more lobster.
Yeah,
what we're doing?
This is the second part. So I've already cut. I used some scissors, some shears, and I cut this part of the lobster just open. And I'm gonna put some olive oil on them in there. Get that in there, and then you're supposed to use the Cajun seasoning, but I don't have some, so we use what we got. Okay. So I'm gonna use some of this, and I'm just gonna add. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna add some now, okay? And then I'm gonna probably add a little bit of onion and garlic. Just
yeah, we need that.
You just need it.
And see, that's why I was like, dang, steak seasoning would have been bomb. I use steak seasoning on everything.
Everything, okay? And steak seasoning is bomb on everything, but not this one, because this is more of a seafood, and it got more herbs to it, so it wouldn't go. But yes,
okay.
Yes.
Yes, we need that onion. This is garlic powder.
And I'm gonna add a little pepper, because you know, pepper didn't hurt nobody.
Can we add a little salt or no?
So that obey is pretty seasoned already, and then there's so much seasoning in that, and this is actually gonna just kind of set right on top. But what I want to do is I'm gonna massage. You want to get this.
Yes,
you see all that right there?
Yeah.
If I just stop there, that ain't gonna get no seasoning. So I'm actually gonna
don't stop there then.
Open. No, you can't stop. You gotta get that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let it swim in there. Let it marinate.
It's swimming.
What song was I was listening to the other day? It said you gotta stand up in it. It was one of them old songs.
Now, what were you listening to?
Was it Johnny Taylor?
Oh my God, Nicole!
He said you gotta girl. I was listening to that song.
I remember hearing that song.
Yeah, she said you gotta stand up in it, girl. Yeah, this ain't gonna be done until I can.
You remember they used to do the old like commercials where they was selling the music like those? That was
I know this look. I'm gonna work. There we go. I'm gonna break the back. Break that back.
No comment.
I'm gonna do the same thing to this one. So just to open it just a little bit. Now you're supposed to do this kind of like on the grill, but you know we don't have access to that, so we're gonna use what we have. And I got a good old cast iron.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use nothing wrong with that.
Now in the recipe it just says put olive oil in that cast iron.
You gonna add butter?
I'm gonna add a little bit butter in there.
Yes, let's zoom in, guys.
Butter didn't hurt no one. Okay, so this is it. It's just simple right there. A little bit of olive oil in there. And really I probably didn't even need the olive oil because, you know.
We need the butter.
Yeah, definitely need the butter. Give me a spoon. We're gonna add that much butter in there. It looks like about a tablespoon and a half. So now we got the lobster. Now I'm gonna put the lobster, again, the recipe calls for the grill, but we got a really hot,
she loves saying recipe.
We got a really hot cast iron stove. We're gonna put that right on in there. You hear that sizzle? That's how you know it's nice and hot. Okay, that's what you want.
Look at that.
I'm gonna break this back a little bit.
You could have cut that, huh?
Yeah, I cut the I could have. And I don't know where this little piece of shrimp came from. I guess the lady in the store gave it to us, so we're gonna use that.
Yes.
And we're gonna let that go.
Look at that sizzle.
Yes. We're gonna let that soak up all that butter, all that juice. And you see how the shell is starting to, am I loud?
I mean, you are quite loud in my ear, but it's
You see
okay.
how that shell is starting to change colors and get dark like that? That's your indication, okay?
Oh, the indication of what?
It's getting done. It's
Oh,
doing
I
what it
never
needs
knew
to do.
that. See, no, I would have never known
It's
that.
the whole shell will eventually kind of like change over. But we're gonna let that just sit there for a little bit. Don't do this. You should probably do this with something. But my hands are so.
You know, she got childproof
Yeah,
hands.
I got rough hands, so where other people be like, that's hot. It don't really affect me. So use a tool. You know, don't do what I do.
This is done.
So this is done. So now I'm literally just gonna take this, and you know, I just gave it a little bit of love, all this so that when you eat it, you get that nice salty taste. And I'm just gonna stick this right on top of this.
Okay, here's the lobster Alfredo.
Yes. Yes, and don't forget we got all that goodness in there.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
This looks so good, you guys.
Jesus.
Jesus loves me.
Mm-hmm. The Bible tells me so.
Okay, guys, this is the moment of truth. We have Mama Gail sitting here. Say hello, Mama Gail.
Hello all.
This is Nicole mom, so she's gonna taste. Nicole, you stuck over there. So she's going to, yes, Mama
I
Gail.
can't hardly wait to taste because it
Yes.
was smelling wonderful. It was smelling
So
wonderful.
it smells good, Mama Gail?
It was smelling wonderful. It's as good as it smelled.
Oh my goodness. You can taste the flavor?
Taste everything. This is so good. This is perfect.
You like it, Mama Gail?
I like it a lot. Mm-hmm.
So would you come back to Tima Soul Kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Daily.
we borrowed her kitchen.
I'd be back daily. This is great. You guys, this is great.
So Mama Gail approved.
I approve.
Thanks for coming to the kitchen, Mama Gail.
You're welcome.
Taking just